I'm dead after watching this latest Iruma-kun episode. I mean, we essentially got a horror episode, and it's right in time for Halloween. I mean, it just feels perfect to have Iruma-kun back in the month of October, and the fact that they're having such fun with the whole tutor shenanigans, because a lot of what was kind of teased last week, it kind of gave me the impression like we're gonna see these students just completely beaten down or maybe in seductive ways I never thought I would see, such as, sexy Clara, which is basically being built upon, and I still stand by what I said, no one is ready for whenever that does pop up. It's funny right now, but if she pulls it off, goddamn, the anime community will not be able to survive. But I love the fact that there's a moment that it's like 5 minutes of the episode, but is the best 5 minutes of the episode. We see just the difference in, what they appear to be at face value to basically teachers, to their tutors. But when they sit around a little campfire, more or less, just sitting by candlelight talking about what they've been through. Yes, Iruma essentially was an errand boy and the biggest moron that she's ever met. But of course, everyone else was kind of being tortured. There's basically being drowned to death because you just tried to read and, test their spiritual abilities or whatever else you want to do there, but all things considered, they're getting waterboarded, they were trapped in waterfalls, they could have just went goofy with it, like they got shot with water. No, they were basically being submerged. You had the whole concept of basically being imprisoned and being with smelly animals, and just the way they just amplified it from being beaten, drowned, imprisoned, and then there's Iruma popping up being like, yeah, my training's been I get her laundry, I make her breakfast, I sometimes go clothes shopping, and they're just like, bitch, please, you're an errand boy. And I love how, instead of it just being them misunderstanding, and that is just the training that was gonna go on, no, she just totally forgot. This little goth lolly over here, yeah, she just forgot. She forgot that she has one thing that she can teach. You won't be able to learn it from her point of view, but given the fact that she says demons can't learn it, Iruma being a human, and based on the opening, we know he will get that sick-ass bow. We know where it's going, but I love the fact that they just had so much fun these past 2 episodes, and it feels like it ain't gonna slow down anytime soon. I mean, this arc is just perfect in general, because often when you have training arcs, whenever characters go off to refine their skills, gain new skills to tackle the new obstacle, I think anime fans in general love training arcs. It's one of the most classic tropes and cliches that people wish most series with any form of action or, a mechanic or a system at play, so in this case, Demon School, people rising up to the ranks to being a Demon King, you want to see as many training arcs as you can. And I think the fact that they can have fun both on the comedy side, the slightly horror side, but also the slice of life, it just is a recipe for success, and I'm really excited to see how long it will take Iruma to master this ability to basically, she says, this will get you higher than even the rank you're trying for. This would probably set him up for life. But the thing is the specific is, a demon can't master it. From her point of view, a demon can't master it. He is a human, so one would suspect, he's the main character, ignoring the opening, just everything lines up for him to be able to master that. But it's going to be interesting because we already have some characters know of who he is as a person, and that he is a human, right? So I'm curious to see if, him mastering it would then cause her to realize, or if she'll just be kind of an airhead and, similar to how she forgot she was supposed to be tutoring/teaching, she'll just say, well, maybe you're just the chosen demon or something, I don't know. Either way, they had a lot of fun with this, and I think Lead in this episode probably was, my favorite part. There's just something about him. The fact that his punishment and, his training was just excessive video games. It doesn't sound that crazy at face glance, he's just exhausted, passing out, but I mean, there comes a point where eventually it loses its fun and it just becomes a mind-numbing chore. So, for something that's supposed to be refining his senses and his sharpness, if anything, you're turning his brain to goo because he just is so exhausted he can't focus on anything. These tutors range from, you can see the idea of hey, if you can get a hit on me, that's your training. So you're building up your physical physique and stuff, and all of them probably are gonna do something for them, but definitely certain people are in better shapes with their tutors than others. And it's great to see how all the characters are still giving it their all, even after the kind of horror stories they were sharing, almost war stories if you will. I love how they still charged in. It really goes to show that, the development in prior seasons wasn't for nothing, and these characters truly have grown. And now that they're at a place where they can definitely get respect and they have a great-ass classroom, they're not going to throw it away and they're going to do absolutely everything. even if you still have horny owls being horny owls and just causing a ruckus with their comedy, and I love it. But the season is not pulling its punches. It seems like, if anything, it's going to be just as good as the prior season, probably even better based on what I'm hearing. And the fact that it's a consistent production, right? Never feels like it dips visually. It has a very consistent style to it. And when it does go a little more simplistic with its art design, it's just used for comedy direction, and it's fantastic. When I saw Sullivan just come in and just hug this girl, the fact that I thought it was going to be a little more violent, like she maybe would like punch him or something and he'd be like, oh, you're still so cute. But the fact that she turned into a puddle of just hearts, all things considered, I thought was pretty fantastic. It just really feels like they're having fun with the setting, they're having fun with the setup, and then once everything does finish here and they probably move on to that Harvest Festival, I think that's, I mean, I know people have been hyping up that specific point of this season, but just given the way that they're, even in the anime, setting up that's the final hurrah of the season, it just feels like everything's going to get bigger and better before it ever fizzles out or anything like that. And that's a really good sign for a show that's now 3 seasons in. Of course, we just started its 3rd season, but the fact that there's, multiple seasons worth of content even left outside of this season, it really does feel like it's a giant world, a lot of possibilities, a lot of great memorable characters, and it's a blast to follow week by week. Like, don't get me wrong, I still think Iruma is one of the strongest anime binges because it's easy to just get lost in multiple episodes in a row. But there is a charming aspect about watching it weekly because you get to really think about the long-term aspects of things. Like, the fact of the matter is, if you're binging a show like this, Iruma's gonna get his bow within a matter of hours if you're binging it, right? But here, we get to sit on it multiple weeks and think about, okay, him getting the bow seems all but inevitable. But at the same time, what would happen if she then realizes that, no, demons can't master this? I know, that's my opinion. Like, demons can't master it. You mastered it, you're clearly not a demon, so what are you? There's a lot of things that can happen, both, just more characters knowing, which then, even if they're not, upset with him for being a human, there's just, you get to start your mind a little more racing there. And you think about how many characters will know before ultimately someone knows that maybe shouldn't, and then in return they then target, and does the school turn? You can start getting a lot more fun theories going when you do watch weekly, which I don't think you can really do in a binge unless you're waiting for the next season. So I think with the new characters they've introduced, both, with the tutors / honestly just other students we'll probably meet along this way, this season without a doubt feels like it's probably going to be the most interesting, both in terms of action, big character moments, but most importantly, probably some plot twists we won't see coming. But either way, I'm excited for more. I'm enjoying talking about this one. Iruma's always been one of my favorite shows that have come out recently, and hopefully people will continue to enjoy the videos and we can do it all the way to the very end of episode 21 there. But thoughts, feelings, ideas, and of course, theories if you got any on where this season might go from here, do let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Till next time everyone, please take care and have a good one.